Hello and welcome back to Trading with CJ. It's been a long time since we did an update on metamaterials. We was covering Torchlight back when this merger first got announced, early in the year. It got announced about December time. We started covering this in January. And since then, it's been a roller coaster for any Torchlight holders and then metamaterials. The merger happened, and we are now metamaterials. We're going to give you an update on exactly what has happened since my last video on this. Where the dividends at, A lot of people are still asking about these dividends. It's been a while. However, we're going to cover that as well and exactly what has gone wrong for metamaterials, Is it still a buy or is it just a bag holding from this point on, If you appreciate all these updates and videos on my channel, please go ahead and smash the like and subscribe to my channel as well. We do have a free Discord and we have a metamaterial stock chat in there as well. So anyway, let's get into this. Metamaterials, guys, if you was buying in when it was Torchlight, you probably got out and took your dividends, You're now just waiting for that dividend payout. You won't be too bad off, You may even took some profits. However, if you held on and wanted this for the long term, metamaterials, then you're probably going to be in the red right now. I find it highly unlikely that you're not in the red if you've been buying this one for some time. Let's have a look at exactly what happened, So we hit those highs back in June time, $20 almost a share. Now, of course, that was prior to the reverse split, so it has factored in the reverse split in this one, But at the current prices, it would have been about $20. And at that price, we are down about 85%. Now, we said from the get-go, a reverse split is never a good thing. It normally causes a sell-off in the company. The only reason I can see that they actually did a reverse split was to try and make sure they stay on the Nasdaq, because the whole reason for the merger was, of course, for metamaterials to stay on the Nasdaq by using Torchlight. So if they did it and the price dropped below $1, it would all be for nothing. With that being said, we're touching very, very close, From those highs there of 20, we're down to just around about $3 right now. Will we get to the $1? Anything is possible in this current market. We look at the 1 month graph being a bit more flatline, although we are down about 9%. Now, compared to where we was previously, it's not doing too bad. However, with that being said, why is this one been selling off so much, Are we going to get the dividends, etc.? Well, there hasn't been a lot of good news around this one, First off, the main issue here is the short sellers. There are a lot of short sellers in this company. You can see right here, we go on to Fintel, you can see the short interest is very, very high. We're currently around about 55 in terms of its short volume ratio, and it's always been around 55, 51, 53 is pretty high, There is a lot of short sellers in this company, and the company is not doing very well in terms of dealing with it. That is one massive bad thing. And with that as well, there's a lot of speculation around metamaterials, causing a lot of fear amongst shareholders. You can see right here, this is on Investor Place. Avoid unproven metamaterials for now, Although its stock does appear to have a great deal of potential, its technology is too unproven and its valuation is too high, which makes its shares a worthwhile holding at this point, So there's that to consider. People are scared around this one because it is unproven. However, we know it's unproven, It's very early days for metamaterials. However, they have a lot of big partnerships coming up. Not to mention, they did recently announce their agreement to acquire Nanotech Security for $90.8 million. I believe that's going to happen around about October time. So that is big for this company. And you've probably seen this by now as well, but their second quarter results were amazing, They really did do great. You can see their total revenue grew to 197% compared to the previous Q2. Net loss was slightly higher though. However, they have a lot of cash on their balance sheet, cash and cash equivalents to 154,634,000, with about 279 million common shares outstanding. So we was pretty impressed, with those revenue numbers growing for metamaterials. And like I say, it's still very much early days for metamaterials. And I want to re-pick up here about a tweet that 𝐏𝐚𝐭𝐫𝐞𝐿, who's the CEO of metamaterials, put out some time ago, back in July, which we did cover in a previous video. I understand concerns, but I have never been more confident in Meta's future prospects, and many things are in the works. I'm not allowed to indicate the timings or who the potential partnerships with until they become public. There is a process in place. So it's definitely looking very interesting. Like I say, it cannot reveal this. They do have partnerships with Samsung. They're just acquiring this nanotech. Lots of exciting things in the pipeline. Still lots of talk around Elon Musk down the line somewhere. However, it is speculation, and that right now is another reason we are seeing this crazy sell-off. What would I be doing with my position in this situation? Would I be adding? Would I be selling? I personally think holding right now is the best way, because we don't know where this run is going to end, okay? It's going to keep selling off. We had decent earnings from this one. It didn't really shift the price much, okay? The only thing right now that I can see really shifting the price is to get rid of the short sellers, which they've been trying to do that for a few months and it hasn't happened, or a massive partnership. They need Elon Musk to come out and say we are partnered with you, and it's going to shift the price. Because in my opinion, this is now going to be a long road to recovery, and unfortunately a lot of people who didn't sell out just for those Torchlight dividends are now bag holding to some extent. Unless you believe in this company for the long term, then it's a hold. I wouldn't sell if you do have faith in this company, okay? But I'm not financial advisor. Always do your own research before investing into a company. I do want to pick up that, there are a lot of people still buying this one as well, okay? You can see the institutional buyers. There's a couple of sells on here, but generally a lot of shares are being bought by big investment companies right now, okay? I'm just going to put the list up here, and this is pretty much every day. Lots and lots of thousands of shares are still being picked up here by institutional buyers, which is another slightly room for concern and a good thing. A good thing because they're obviously buying, they believe in the company. The room for concern is the fact that they are buying and we're still not really seeing this price move too much, okay? It does somewhat concern you, okay? So just worth noting that with metamaterials. Let's have a look at the stock price one more time here. You can see over the last week we are actually down about 8.8% right now, okay? So it's been a bit of a rough week. However, that's what we've come to expect now with metamaterials. Just to quickly touch on the dividend payout, okay, from Torchlight. Remember, if you held on to Torchlight prior to those dates, then you'll be entitled to preferred shares. Now, 𝐏𝐚𝐭𝐫𝐞𝐴 did actually mention about the preferred shares just today. Many brokers have made several mistakes with the dividend. For example, some have put a nominal price of $1 without justification. Some have no value. If Fidelity is going to give you money for the dividend, it's certainly not coming from Mmat at this time. Remember, you will have preferred shares in your brokerage if you are entitled to them. Some brokerages still haven't even offered them out, okay, which is not great news. But what can we do at this point? However, if you do have your preferred shares, they will most likely have no value to them in your account. And people are saying, when can I sell? Well, the value becomes from selling of the oil and gas assets, which predicted to be by the end of the year. It could take slightly longer to see that money coming into your account. However, you don't need to worry at this time. It's basically free money from this point in. It's not costing you anything to sit on those dividend shares because there's zero value right now for them. However, when they do come in, you can then sell. And if oil and gas prices are going up, crude oil was going up, that's a good thing because that means they can sell their land, their oil and gas assets for a lot more money, meaning they can divvy this up a lot higher, a bigger amount to shareholders, okay? So do expect that around the end of the year when they sell their oil and gas assets, but don't worry about that, stop panicking about that. I'm not sure what this $1 price is. As you can see, 𝐏𝐚𝐭𝐫𝐞𝐴 also doesn't know why there's any sort of price. Maybe they just put $1 so that it stays on the account. Maybe you can't have $0 on your account, I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. But yeah, right now there should be no value to those dividends. If you do have a $1, definitely do not sell because it's going to be worth a lot higher than $1 for however many shares you have. Okay, so yeah, just worth knowing. Predictions for the shares. There's a lot of predictions out there. Some people are saying $20 range. I always hovered around the $2 to $3 range. Let's see what happens, but that is per share. So it's definitely worth holding anyway and just see what happens with those dividends. Anyway, let's keep you updated on metamaterials, okay? It's been a bumpy ride for any shareholders. Let's hopefully get some good news out, and hopefully any brokerages who haven't issued those shares will still issue them, okay? It's definitely a concern on a lot of people's radars. If you appreciate all these updates, please go ahead and smash the like and subscribe to my channel as well. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time.